Hope the sound is working all this time.
If it's not, we'll find out. We'll do it all over another time, but not today. This will be the last one. Hello again. This is Bob Moran.
And Mary Ann Moran.
And this is the super duper deluxe version of the More Stuff from Bob Moran show.
Super duper. What is
Remember
it?
the super duper? Wasn't there
Yeah, there
a
was.
store in town?
Yes,
Where
there
was
was.
that? Where the Acme used to be?
Well, no.
Remember where the Acme used to be?
Super duper was down by the motel downtown.
The Glen Motor Inn?
Yeah. The Glen
The Super
Villager.
Duper. No.
The Villager.
But that was the Super Duper was the first grocery store we went to in Watkins Glen.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't?
No.
Was there a PNC?
No.
There was a PNC.
First one.
No, not a PNC. An
A and P.
A and P.
Yeah. And
A
that
and P.
was right on the corner where the Chinese restaurant is
Where?
now.
That's right.
House of Hong.
So those are grocery stores.
Boy, are we here a long time. Huh?
We've been here a long time. Now, were you ever, when you were growing up, did your mother ever call the grocery store and order food? Order groceries on the telephone?
No. No, my mother did not do that.
Well,
My parents, grandparents owned the grocery store. So we just went downstairs and got the groceries.
what did you say?
My grandparents owned the grocery store. So they just went down and got them out of the store. Didn't have to order. But you tell me about your
Did you get
family.
free stuff? Did you get free stuff at your grandparents'
Yes.
store?
Yes, I did.
Did you take advantage of that?
No, I was too young. Yes,
How young were you?
very. From just born until forever. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that. I remember you showed me a picture once.
I have photos, yes.
Well, my mother used to call the grocery store and get an order. And the guy would fill it. Sometimes they delivered. You can get it delivered.
Gee, that's
But most,
nice.
most of the time we would go there and get it and it would be ready for us.
Wow.
Remember the grocer had a long pole
Yeah,
and a catch thing
I
at the
love
end
that
of it?
pole.
And he would go up and catch a can of beans or something and bring it down for
Yeah.
you with this long pole.
Yeah, we had a pole. Family.
There was a pole
We
in
were
your
a family
grandfather's
with the
store?
pole. Yes, we did. Yes.
Wow.
We had that.
Okay, they don't do that anymore. They don't even have a cash register anymore in these stores almost. They
Some
just beep, beep,
Slide the card.
beep.
So that's super deluxe, and you were going to talk about super
Well-
deluxe. What we do? What do
I
we
don't
do
remember what I
that's
was going to talk about.
Right.
Well, I'm going to talk about special effects.
Yes.
In back of us
Yes.
is a greens.
It's just green.
It's green. There's nothing there.
Uh-huh.
Trust me. It's just a green screen.
Yeah. Green
But we can put anything there. We can, and we can put stuff in front of us.
I didn't know that.
We can put snow in front of us.
Oh, yes, I did know
I
that.
don't know if we could make it snow for a minute.
Why not?
Let's do that. And then we'll do it now when we get home. I'll add the special effects.
Okay.
All
Ju-
right.
just
Let's
go for
get
it.
us. All right. Now let's be cold.
Very cool.
Okay.
Oh, it's cold.
And we can have a fire.
Oh, no, we don't want a fire, so let's see
We
a
could put
fire.
a fire in front of us.
Yes, a nice little
A nice little
one.
fire? I don't
We
know.
roast marshmallows. Roast the marshmallows.
All
All right,
well,
we'll roast the marshmallows. Okay.
Okay. I don't know what else special effects. That's cool.
Any others? No,
I don't what. Do you have anything prepared?
I could.
You could.
ready to
wait
mosey
a
on?
minute. You could.
Yeah.
That means you could make a preparation. I'm asking, are you prepared
I am
now?
ever ready.
You're ever ready.
They call me
Isn't that
ever
wonderful?
ready.
I don't know how you do it. I don't have my
save
glasses.
up.
What
I
is this
save up.
about?
Okay, now I think we talked about this one other time, but it so impressed me that we can talk about it again. It's an article about if you took 100 people and made these 100 people represent the entire world and all the people in it, how many of this and how many of that would you have?
Oh, okay. So there's 100 people,
Yes.
And they represent the whole world.
Everybody in the
They
world.
represent everybody.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
And if you did that, then 57 of these people would be Asians,
57 out of the 100 would be Asian.
21 would be Europeans,
21 would be European. 21 out of the 100.
14 only, 14 out of
14.
100 would be from the Western Hemisphere, including North and South America.
Okay. So only 14 out of 100 are from the Americas.
And then from Africa, there would be 8.
8 from. And there's not a lot of people in Africa.
Seems,
They die.
yeah.
They're
Oh,
dying of
right.
AIDS and different diseases. They're very primitive.
So when you look at who's running the world,
We are, the United
of the
States.
100 people
We're the leaders.
running the world, 14 from, and if you take those, it doesn't tell us how many were North American, so say we split it. 7 North Americans are running the world.
Yeah. Well, that's.
And how could
That's-
that possibly happen?
I remember. Well,
What is it that gave us the edge?
God.
No.
We are God's country. God's on our side.
Well, no, I don't think that's the answer. It's a scary answer.
We're the superior race.
Why? I mean, what happened to us different from these other, different from Asia?
Well, what is that? You want the answer?
Have I thought about this, you mean? Yes.
Well, what's your answer? It was
Asians-
a rhetorical question, right?
I think that this country is very technology advanced.
You know why?
Why?
But ever hear of Roslyn, Area 51?
Tell us about Roslyn area.
Well, for you science people or science fiction people, back in the 40s, a spaceship crashed in Roslyn. And the space people survived.
Oh.
And they are feeding the United States government technology. So that's why we are so advanced.
You had the answer.
Was that what you knew?
That's not where I was going. No. But that's a good answer.
Well, sure.
It's a thought, it's a theory. It's also very old, older than me, so it must be outdated. The theory
No,
must
there's
be
still
outdated.
people who believe that.
Here's what
You
I was
believe it,
thinking.
don't you?
I was thinking this. All companies in the United States of America are now flooding to Asia to sell cables, to sell
To produce.
to make online things, to sell computers, and they're going to sell them there. Or they're going to make Asia equal to the 7 of us.
Well, yes,
It could
what
keep
you're
going,
saying,
making
okay.
money, everybody's going to be happy.
All right,
But then we're all going to be equal.
No.
Well, what edge do we have?
No. You would think so. You would think so.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll ever be equal. I don't think we're not that way. We're and what does equal mean? Do you mean robots are all the same?
No, I don't mean that.
All right, all good. Because
I don't mean that.
here's what's the rest of the world is catching up.
Power-wise.
Some of the world is catching up. Some of the world is catching up. They're getting automobiles, telephones, electricity, clean water, medicine, better food. A lot of the world isn't. So in some ways, those who are ahead, like the United States, the rest, some are catching up. But in other ways, no, they're not. In fact, the United States is accelerating, advancing very fast. And even though some other countries are accelerating, their rate of acceleration is not as much as the United States. So they're improving, but they're not improving as quickly as the United States. Some countries are accelerating faster. That's because they start from a lower base, where they don't have clean drinking water, the people are dying. So they're getting up maybe to the 1950s, 1960s, so they're really zooming up to there. But I believe the United States I believe in the United States, that we are still going to maintain that technology edge.
Good. All right, so there you
We
go.
will keep that
relieves
technology
my
edge.
worry.
And that'll keep us ahead. Because the rest of the world will always want to buy that technology. They won't want to buy our automobiles and our heavy industry. Heavy industry, we're not heavy industry anymore.
Right.
We're technology.
They've moved on.
And they're going to want to buy that. They're going to want to learn about
They
it.
do.
They're going to have the
It's
skills.
obviously clear that they want that, yes.
But that's going to be the big thing. The industries of the 1950s and 1900s, the rest of the world is going to do that. And that's good. We're going to have jobs in the United States in technology.
Whoa.
So never mind automobiles. Automobiles are okay, but that's the rest of the world make those.
Well, then I hope we keep up with our education.
Yes.
I hope we get
Well,
going.
we will. If it's not the public, the private sector will. Private sector will. But there's more to that. That gives you a little bit to think about.
Food for thought. So shall I go on with some of these?
Certainly, certainly.
Of these 100 people, 80 would live in substandard housing. 70 would be unable to read.
So, right. See, that's what I mean. 70% of the world is still illiterate.
Unable to read.
And they were talking about so many people on the planet have not yet even used a telephone. It used to be, there was an article in Wired magazine about that. It used to say, well, 2/3 of the world has not even used a telephone. Well, that's changed now. It's only like half.
Big change.
It's only like half of the world have never even used a telephone yet. So, if you're worried about the United States losing its edge, don't worry about
Here's
it.
another thought. It said that now we have the housing, we have the education. Half of this 100, 50 of them, would never have enough to eat. They'd be malnourished.
Starving.
Yes. One would be near death and one would be near birth out of 100. Interesting.
That's right. That's right.
Only one would have a college education in the whole 100. Probably from North America, I would assume. Only one would have a college education. Half of the entire village's wealth of these 100 people would be in the hands of only 6 people.
Right. We control the wealth of the world, too.
And all 6 of these 100 would be citizens of the United States of America.
Right. See, that's what it comes to 6%. Well, 6% of the world, we control the world. It's just like the Romans used to control. They used to say, that's not really true, that the Romans controlled it because it was all of Asia. But the Western world was controlled by Rome. The United States controls the planet now pretty much. That's an awesome responsibility. That's an awesome response. And unfortunately, our system is based on materialism. Our operating system of the United States and Europe and Japan as well is on materialism, consumerism.
So we're
And
spending
there's a
money.
downside, and you wonder about our youth, what they're occupied with. They're
do wonder.
occupied with the materialism as
Game
well.
Boys. Yeah.
And nobody wants to give up their 50 channels on their TV set. Nobody wants to give up any, or even share it with. That's something else to think about.
And the people of Asia are hungry for education. And they are going for it. Learning, going for it. And the youngsters in America, of where there's 6% of the wealth that are occupied with toys and games and television, are they going to lose the race? Are they going to not be interested in education?
Well,
are they not going to study, or are they not going to push
well,
to
you
the
don't
edge?
need to have mass education to be a successful
Rich person.
power. Like the United States, really, you don't need mass education. You only need a few, because you only have so many smart people. If you look at the United States, a lot of people are into professional wrestling. They're watching soap operas. They watch Jerry Springer.
They don't show smart people.
Well, they're the ones that make the difference.
We don't honor smart people.
Well, we're anti-intellectual. Our culture is anti-intellectual. It's always been. But our industry isn't. The money and the power respect education. They're looking for people to run their factories, to do research for them. The masses are not in on it. Even in the United States, you can feed us with our bread and circuses. So it's really the few, but we're not going to lose our edge.
I've been watching the Apprentice show, Donald Trump's show,
Yes.
where they gathered together bright people in IQs, soaring IQs, very, very, very intelligent people. And so far, first two shows anyway, the women beat the men. And it had nothing to do with their smarts or their brains. They beat them using their womanly
Well,
wiles.
it's a form of, multiple intelligences. What is intelligence? Productivity, like the correlation between a formal education and success. It's not 100% correlation. It's a positive correlation, but it's not 100%.
Some of these contestants, let's say, just got out of college, don't even have, got out of high school without a college education. So they come from
Yeah.
a variety of
Yeah.
measures,
Right.
but they're all smart.
See,
But the girls were just using sex to win. And that's what they are blatantly showing, that's what we honor, and that's what's going to be winning.
well, we honor multiple things. You can't specify one specific protocol for success or,
Well, I
or
hope so.
ritual.
I hope when we watch the rest of these shows that
Well, that's
we're
not
going to
that's
see a
meaningless.
different
To
thing.
watch a television show and say this is the American standard, I think that's meaningful.
Well, it isn't meaningful to us, but it's meaningful to those people who are watching that show and
But
none
some
other.
people see.
I mean, that's what they're judging themselves on.
There's a million people watching the show, and there's a million different perceptions of it. I don't think they're being. Some are being taught this lesson, some are being taught that lesson. What are we talking about?
Wow. We were talking about Super Duper and all the way over here to Donald Trump. See, Super Duper. Oh, we were talking about the 100 people in the room.
Right. The United States is 6% of the world's population, and we pretty much control the world. It's an awesome responsibility. Will we lose our leadership position?
All of that we were talking
And
about.
you think, but we're so far ahead, and there's such a spread between the rich and the poor. There isn't much of a chance that the poor are going to catch up and knock us off the mountain.
Okay. Good. I'm glad we're at ease about that.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Nice to
Goodbye.
see you again.